on Facebook. Oh, I said talking to me. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Again, welcome to the world of technology. So starts talking to you. Oh goodness! But as you can see, my very special guest today is Aaron Fisher. I keep saying Aaron. Aaron.
Whichever one is fine.
Okay. Mr. Aaron Fisher, Maestro 3000. We'll get into that. We're going to be talking about his upcoming performance at the Arkansas, well, is it Arkansas Music Root Festival?
Arkansas Roots Music Festival.
Music Roots Festival. Uh, I want to say hosted by, or it is basically hosted by the Delta Symposium, but in partnership with the West End Neighborhood Association and KASU and A State. But also you have some new music that you've been working on, you're putting out, and so we're definitely be talking about that as well. So for those of you on Facebook, just stay tuned. We'll get into all of that once we go on air because we don't want anyone to miss out on this conversation. But how are you doing today, Aaron?
I'm doing well. I'm fully rested for once. So I'm good.
Good for you. Thank God I'm a woman and have access to the power of makeup. Because yeah.
You look beautiful with or without it.
Because sleep don't want to find me most days. So,
oh Lord, see.
Yeah, you gotta do a little conceal action.
Don't know about all that. God hath made everything beautiful.
Oh goodness. All right, so here we go. Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday. I had to think about it for a minute. Happy Wednesday, All Gospel Wednesday. You're tuned into Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. My special guest today is Mr. Aaron Fisher. Most of you know him as working with United Voices Gospel Choir, but he does so much more. Aside from that, he is a musician all of his own, composes, all that jazz, his own music. And so he is getting ready to perform this Saturday at the the Music Roots Festival. Yesterday we had Dr. Gregory Hanson on talking about the festival. And today we have Aaron, who's going to be one of the highlighted performers at the event. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I am doing great. So I want to just jump right into it. Today's going to be an abbreviated show. I just want to jump into, on the program, the flyer, you go by the name Maestro 3000. So let's talk about how did you come up with that name?
Well, because everybody always, because they know how much music I do, they always call me Maestro for one.
Okay.
So I thought that was kind of funny. And then I just put the 3000 on it just to kind of differentiate and just say basically jack of all trades, know a lot of things, and basically be ahead of the time. So that's basically what the 3000 came from.
Okay. And so, like I said, you do so much more outside the United Voices. You do your own music. And so you have an album, like you have some other singles and other music that you've already released, but you have a big project that you're releasing, and you're also going to be doing a performance outside of the Roots Festival to showcase your music. And so the name of your album is Metamorphosis. Now, we all can interpret that in different ways. Yeah. What does it mean for you? What is the story behind that?
Well, metamorphosis in zoology is when a animal goes from being a little cub to an adult. And so I basically kind of just made that to my own because of my life experiences and things. When people think you're a monster, I compare that to the whole animal aspect of it. But it's also a symbolism of growing up. So basically it's just stories from my interpretation and from my life, especially during this whole craziness going on in the world as well, because that's where a lot of it has come from and just those things. So yeah, so that's basically what metamorphosis is. It's just growing up, becoming an adult, and just dealing with a whole bunch of different stuff that y'all will see from the songs that I've written.
So let's talk about some of the processes. Try to get into the head of artists, because everyone has a different process when they're writing, and they go through different phases, and they stop and start, and they wallpaper or tear it out, you delete whatever. And so walk us through some of the process as you were writing each song, as you were arranging the music for each song, and what was that like?
Well, it was mainly a process of just normally I either get a melody in my mind or I get a beat in my head. This time it was just basically about the message. What did I want to say? And then how did I want the music to sound under that message? So it was mainly streamlined. Every time I came up with a song idea, I was like, okay, I want to talk about this subject. How do I want to talk about it? So it was pretty streamlined and simple for this part.
Okay. And so, just to list a few of the songs, there's Te Amo, which means I love you.
Hmm.
I took a little Spanish in school.
Multicultural. You're bilingual.
Just a little bit, just a little
You
bit.
better get it.
Oh goodness. Simply Yours,
Mhm.
Better, FOMO, or is it FOMO? How do you
Yeah,
pronounce it?
FOMO is an acronym for fear of missing out.
Oh, okay. I need to catch up with the time. Forgive You, Man
Mm,
Enough, Love Yourself, Broken Bridges, Somebody to Love, Colorblind, Validation, More Than That. So let's go through a few of these titles while we have some time, because
okay.
I'm very interested to know what is the thought process and the message behind these. So let's just pick one that you want to start with.
I just started with the first one. You said Te Amo. It's
Mhm.
basically about you telling somebody that you love them, and yet because of all the hurt and pain they've dealt with, it has a line in there that says, "Why is love so foreign to you?" And so basically they can't recognize when somebody loves them because they're dealing with so much hurt and pain. So that's basically the
Wow.
idea behind that song.
Wow. I can just envision, I think a lot of us can, relate to that. We want to tell somebody sometimes we love them. But then
Hmm.
again, because of the things they've said and, their conversations, like, well, I better not tell you that. So
Right.
that's, wow. So I can't wait to dive more. I've been listening to some of the songs. And I can't wait to dive into the whole album.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Simply Yours.
Simply Yours is a song I'm very proud of. That's probably the first song I actually wrote for the album. And I did that song with Mark Eccles. It was basically not planned, but it ended up coming out and it was really good. And I really wanted to work with him. And I love working with other people. But Simply Yours is basically a song that you tell your loved one or tell your wife or anybody that you do love, just basically how you feel about them. So
Okay, let me pause. So I know most of us should live a kind of private life. Like you're
mhm.
not one of those that's out there, blasting relationships and things like that.
Oh
So do
no.
you think people are going to, when they hear these types of songs, are they going to be like, hey, Aaron, like that? Like, do you think they'll be surprised of you at this level?
Look, I'm 30 years old. It's time. It's time to tell my story. Y'all be surprised. Don't make me wear the tell all. Y'all be real mad about all the stuff I actually do know. But
Oh, so
I'm very private and very quiet because at the end of the day, when you let too many people in your business, in your relationship, that's mainly where all the drama and stuff comes from. So I'm actually very kept and quiet
okay.
when it comes to that.
All right. Better.
Better is a song. I actually wrote that song probably like 7 years ago. And I'm very passionate about my friendships and stuff, but I wrote that song basically when you're trying to save your friend from doing something crazy and they just want to do what they want to do. That's basically the song that you say, hey, I'm gonna let you make the mistake on your own. And while you're sitting there suffering, I'm just doing better.
Okay. Also, fear of missing out. FOMO. FOMO.
So that's the song that I really got back into the swing of writing a lot. Fear of missing out is basically saying, hey, if you don't appreciate who I am, then I'm going to keep on going and finding somebody who actually does. So yeah.
Okay. All righty then. Forgive You.
Forgive You. That's one of my favorite songs. Basically when somebody does you wrong or does you dirty, for some reason people lack compassion or understanding or seeing things from other people's point of view. So when you do something to somebody, let them heal on their own time. So the song Forgive You basically talks about me needing time myself. It's not on that person's time. It's my time saying, I can't forgive you just yet. Give me my time.
Okay. All right. I want to say good morning to Derek Coleman. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so Man Enough.
Man Enough is basically, there's a series that a guy, I can't even remember his name right now, goodness. But he's doing a series based on called Man Enough that is talking about what it really means to be a man in society and just all of the stereotypes that people say a man has to be and things like that. And I know me and my own dad have had a lot of conversations about it. Like we get into like 4 or 5 hour conversations about
Oh gosh.
what it really means to be and things like that. And I agree with him on some things. He actually most things I agree with him on because he got more experience than I do. But but yeah, but basically, Man Enough is basically telling that person, hey, you have your idea of what a man is supposed to be, and you're gonna end up finding out that that's not what it's supposed to be because everything you think is not as it seems. So it's basically me telling the people that I'm man enough, no matter what they've been trained or taught to believe what a man is.
Alrighty. Love yourself.
Short and simple, you need to love yourself instead of
Okay.
trying to ask me to save you from whatever turmoil you're
Oh,
going through. I'm nobody's second place. All
oh
right.
my goodness. Okay, short and sweet. We're gonna move on.
Right.
Broken bridges.
Throughout my life, I've made a lot of different mistakes. I mean, as everybody has. But it's just basically telling those people who I have made those mistakes with, if it's been 10 years and you still thinking the same thing, you don't allow people to grow and evolve, then at that point, then it is what it is, and you missing out on your blessings by not recognizing that. Amen.
Okay. Somebody to love.
um, I mean, that's plain and simple too. That is one of my favorite songs too. Just saying, find me somebody to love. Because the way I think, and you already know about the conversations that we've had, uh, that I'm a ball of fire. So I'm just looking for that ball of fire to go right along with me.
God bless the woman that can match your
Oh
energy.
yes, she's somewhere. Probably not in Jonesboro, but somewhere.
Oh no.
Yeah, I
Oh
see
gosh.
it.
Colorblind.
Colorblind, and being in the South, dealing with all of the racism and all of that, it basically is just basically talking about being interracial relationships,
Okay.
saying don't listen to what other people say, ignore their lives. I'm not a stereotype. Y'all gonna have to listen to the rest of the words for the rest of the song, but that's basically what it's saying, is just give it a chance because skin color doesn't matter, personality does.
Okay. Validation.
Validation is basically what we were talking about earlier about me being private. I really don't care what nobody says. If I'm with somebody, I'm with them. And it does say I don't care what your mama say or your daddy thinks. So,
Oh
but that's one of my
goodness.
favorites too.
Okay. And more than enough. I mean, more than that. I'm sorry, more than that.
uh, More than that is basically a song just talking about it. And I normally meet a lot of people. That song can go to a friend or go to somebody you're interested in. Just basically saying when people think that they're not enough or people just think that they're just less than, then that's the song that you give to them to tell them, oh no, you're way more than just because you look beautiful does not mean that you're somebody's trophy or you belong or you should be somebody's trophy on their arm. And that's the only reason why they're with you. So
Alrighty. So to hear these titles and more, reach out to Aaron. Follow him on all of his social media pages so you can find
yes.
out when the album actually released. But before then, you can go to the live listening party this Friday at 7 o'clock at the Recovery Room, and then you can hear him again on Saturday at 1 o'clock at Cricket Forest Park at the Arkansas Roots Music Festival. And so um, and the album will actually be released on the 18th, June 18th. So let's
Yeah.
go back and talk about the live listening party. How did that come about? What are you most excited about? Just give us the rundown.
I'm most excited to get back to performing. I have not performed since March of 2020. So,
And then
so
in front of a
it,
crowd too.
yeah. So I'm starting this weekend. This is my last week at work. And then as soon as I get off Friday, I'm going right back into work that night. But the live listening party is just gonna basically be like now me talking about the songs, me doing a few songs, and just previewing the album, and I'm just looking for the responses.
Okay, so kind of like a singer, songwriter, storytelling
Yeah.
kind of deal, but with a
Oh yeah.
nice chill vibe
Oh
and some
yeah.
good
It
music.
is free. It's limited space because the recovery room is very eclectic. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun time.
All right, so please look, Aaron, I say local, even though you're not from Arkansas, you are local because you lived here, you worked here.
Hmm.
And so let's support our local artists that are really trying to do
Oh
something.
yeah.
And the way we can support also word of mouth, pushing their music, sharing their posts on their social media pages. Let's get Aaron out there to the masses. I mean, I'm sure there are people who do know you or know about you. However, the more people who share, like, subscribe, and all that, the
Hmm.
more, the further you, lost for words, the further your name and your music can reach. So,
Right.
and then let's talk about the festival. How did you get involved with the Roots Festival?
Actually, I like to give a shout out to United Voices because this is how I got involved with that. United Voices, we were actually talking about doing the festival, but they had to move the date. And so when they moved the date, instead of United Voices doing it, they asked me, could I go ahead and just do it? And I said, okay. So yeah, but that'll be a possibility in the future for United Voices to participate. But that was the reason why.
And looking at the lineup of the people that are going to be there, there's going to be bluegrass, Americana, some rock. How does it feel to be, included in such a diverse lineup of artists?
I would say I'm very honored and grateful for the opportunity for one. And also because it's Arkansas roots, because what you think of backwoods country, everything like that. But I'm so glad in this point in my music, because there's one song, a couple of songs, but there's one song called Southern Comfort that it's got a lot of Arkansas roots within it. And I will be performing that song. So just pray my strength for hitting them notes. But I
Oh, so
am
you got to
honored.
hit some high
Yeah,
notes.
I gotta hit some high. It's the highest I've ever sang on anything.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
yeah, I was surprised at myself.
Well,
But
keep that
yeah,
hot honey tea on
I'm
deck.
sure gonna keep it and keep that hot toddy right next to me.
Not a toddy, no, not a
I need the toddy.
just the lemons and honey.
Yes, we're gonna keep it. Hallelujah.
Oh
Make sure the
goodness.
voice is right. But yeah, I am grateful for the opportunity and just grateful for everybody lined up and the fact that it's so diverse and the people actually understand the importance of supporting local artists and just basically knowing that there's way more to Arkansas roots than just one perspective. So I am grateful to be involved in that.
All right, so live listening party again Friday, 7 o'clock, recovery room,
Mhm.
downtown Jonesboro. Limited seating. Get there early. So it's basically first come, first serve.
First come, first serve.
All right, and the event is free. And then
Hmm.
Saturday, cricket Forest Park, Pavilion. No, well, I think it's Pavilion 6.
I
Um,
think it is.
there's a flyer on the KLEK page. There's a flyer on the KASU page, or if you go to the astate.edu webpage, you can find information there at the Delta Symposium about the Delta Symposium and the event. So there are multiple ways to find information, but I'll make sure to post it again. Check Aaron's page
Oh yeah.
for information as well. So,
It's
all
free,
right,
but tips will be taken. Invest in your
look,
local artists. Come on, some I'm
look, I work for nonprofit, so I know we take all the in
uh-huh.
kind and the donation. we
Especially for what's been going on now. We need it. We all need it.
most definitely,
Yes.
most definitely. All right, so as we get close to wrapping up about 3 minutes here, what are
Hmm.
some words, some inspiration, motivation? I don't know. What are some words you like to leave with future aspiring artists, people who are in their journey,
Mm-hmm.
they may feel stuck or whatever. Like, what words would you want to leave people?
I leave words for the people and the upcoming artists. I would just say, upcoming artists, find your sound. A lot of people get lost in the shuffle on the radio because they try to emulate every single other person they comes
Uh,
across. So I would just say, find your sound, find what you like, what you don't like, and combine everything together, because not every tool is used in the toolbox.
okay.
So, but to the people, I would say, truthfully enough, with the craziness that went over the world and everything, I believe that it's a missed opportunity if we, as the city of Jonesboro and surrounding areas, don't come together in a bigger way than what we did. That time that we had off and everything was crazy was a time to reflect and to see that it's time for us to come together as a community. Let's support our artists, support our local businesses, support our people, and come back stronger than ever.
I know that's right. Do you feel that during this time of COVID, I had this conversation with someone else
Mm-hmm.
that during the time when COVID really hit hard, well, I say really, when it forced us to retreat and
Mm-hmm.
we had to be in our own spaces, do you feel that it caused you to be more creative or dig deeper into yourself?
I would say that depends on the time, because at first I was lazy. I was real lazy. I'm like, I got all this time in the world now. Just it's not really anything daunting on my schedule. But then later on, when I had time to think and also process, and I do think it not only made me more creative, but it made me more aware of my creativity.
Okay, forgive me for that. The cough, I didn't want to be all rude.
Oh Lord.
But I just want to say thank you for giving me your time
Oh,
this
thank
morning.
you.
Can't wait to dive deeper into the album. Again, I've been listening to a few tracks, but still have to be a grown up, school calls and all that stuff. But I like to listen to music when I, you know, call it evening. I just
Hmm.
put something on and just let it play. So, is your music? It's not on any streaming services now because it won't be released until June 18th.
Well, some of the songs are available. Even some of the songs that were not in what I said you are available.
Okay.
My Stand By Me cover is available. So is Somebody to Love More Than That. Only You is available. It's a lot of songs. Just go search me on everything Maestro 3000. If you
All
search
right.
Aaron
So
J.
please,
Fisher, you'll get a whole different catalog of stuff. So that's why I go by different names.
all right. So again, check out Aaron Fisher, aka Maestro 3000,
Mhm.
on all the social media platforms, streaming services. But thank you all for listening. Have a great day.
Thank
Okay, we're
you.
still on Facebook. So
Mhm.
for those of you on Facebook, again, Friday recovery room, 7 o'clock.
Yes. Yes.
1 o'clock Saturday, Cricket Forest Park,
Yes.
Pavilion 6.
Yes.
June 18th. Put that on your calendar. Album released.
Yes.
And the album is called Metamorphosis. So
Mhm.
look, let's support our local artists. Let's support people who are just trying to do great things in this world. Share great music with the rest of you all. So, Aaron, thank you so very much
Thank
for
you
this.
so much.
Hope you have a great rest of your day. Get some rest because you're gonna be busy this weekend, booked
Oh
and busy.
yes. Oh yes.
And then you can rest. Well, you can rest on Sunday after praise and worship service.
Right.
The school is out for summer.
Yes. I'm so glad. It's a whole mess. It's a whole I'm gonna miss my kids, but I do not miss teaching during COVID, because this is return to sender. We refuse to participate.
So silly. All right. Well, thank you all out there in Facebook world for watching us. I hope you all have a great and blessed day as well.
Thank you.